What do you notice in this picture? I bet you said that you noticed lava because a lot of you have read books about volcanoes and know about lava. But I have a question. What's all the black stuff in the picture? Say it out loud. You might have said that the black stuff is rock, and you would be correct because you know that something like a volcano or our ground is made of rock. I also noticed that there is some of that black stuff right on the top of the lava. And so that makes me think that the lava is actually turning into that black rock. It turns out that rock can melt just like ice or chocolate or wax can melt. When melts, we call it magma or lava. When it cools and turns solid again, we call it rock. Some things keep the same name when they're melted, like chocolate. When it's melted, we just call it melted chocolate. But some things have a different name when they melt. Like when ice melts, we don't call it melted ice, we call it water. Same is true with rock. When rock melts, we give it a different name. Either lava if it's on the outside of the earth, or magma if it's on the inside of the earth. We're going to do a reading to tell us more about magma and lava and what happens with them in volcanoes. Here we go. A peek inside the earth. When we dig into the earth's surface, we see rock. This solid outer layer of the earth is called the crust. I'm then going to look over at this picture and I see that the crust is around the entire outside of the earth. And I heard that it was solid rock in that outside layer. So I'm imagining that blue part of the picture being solid rock. Here we go. Below the crust, so if I kept digging, the inside of the earth is not solid at all. It is filled with liquid rock that we call magma or lava. The extreme heat inside the earth makes rock melt, turning it into magma. The solid crust floats on this magma like a layer of ice on top of a lake. So now I'm looking back at here and I see that the orange part is labeled as liquid rock. And so I'm imagining that this is the inside of the earth. This is a picture of the earth like if you cut an orange or an apple in half and you were able to look on the inside. So this is the inside of the earth. If we cut the earth in half, we'd be seeing the middle of the earth. And outside of it is this hard rock. Let's keep reading. Sometimes the crust breaks and the liquid below can escape to the Earth's surface. When that happens, we see a volcano. When volcanoes erupt, it is because pressure builds up inside the magma chamber until it pushes the magma out. I'm looking over here and I see in this picture, it's very tiny, but it actually says down here at the bottom, magma chamber. And then I see the magma pushing out up to the top of this volcano. When magma erupts out of a volcano, we call it lava. And I'm remembering back before I said that lava was what magma is when it comes out onto the surface of the earth. So down here it's magma. Once it comes out, we call it lava. In addition to lava, volcanoes erupt ash, smoke, and small pieces of rock. So I think that might be the stuff going up into the air. Is all that ash and smoke and little tiny pieces of rock. When lava cools, so now that it's at the top, it's going to hit our cool air and start cooling down. It turns back into solid rock called igneous or volcanic rock. That's a new word. Igneous rock means it's volcanic rock. This rock does not have layers like sedimentary rock. So this is a different kind of rock than our sedimentary rock. It can have crystals like granite. Okay, I'm looking down here and I see a picture of granite. Oh, look, it has all those little crystals in it. It can be smooth and shiny like obsidian. I'm looking down at this obsidian. It looks like it's black and smooth and shiny. Maybe that's what I was seeing in the first picture we looked at, because that looked like black rock also. Or even be so full of air bubbles that it can float like pumice. I'm looking at this pumice down here, and it does indeed look like it has a lot of air bubbles. So far I have learned that if I cut the earth in half and looked inside, I would see solid all around the edge, kind of like an apple skin or an orange skin, orange peel. And the inside would be all liquid, which would be magma. And then sometimes the magma can come out at a volcano, and then we call it lava. And then that lava turns into rock, and it can be any of these types of rock that we see below. You're going to go back to your purple tab and answer questions about this text. You can open up the text to find evidence whenever you need.